All right, I'm back again with some new releases. The links and timestamps for each of the books will be down in the description, as well as a link to sign up if you're an author and want to put your book in front of me. Never guarantees that you'll be featured, but it does up your chances of me knowing that your book is available. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the picks for this week. Okay, so in this video, you might have to turn me up because I'm going to be talking this low because it's after midnight and my husband is already asleep. But I wanted to go ahead and finish this. Um, so I did. So yeah, you just might need to turn me up, but we're all good here. The Alchemy of Moonlight by David Ferraro comes in at 384 pages and is pitched as young adult fiction, romance, LGBTQ plus. Paranormal romance fans will love this historical gothic horror involving a gay love triangle with a runaway, a doctor, and a werewolf. When Emily's aunt declares he must when Amel's aunt declares he must marry or be disowned for being gay, he runs away to hide as a servant in Count Montonio's mansion. In their service, Emil tends to the family who all suffer a strange affliction on the moon, and after overhearing suspicious family arguments, he finds a body on the estate, drawing the attention of a handsome doctor, as well as the Count's charismatic nephew, Henry. Before Emil can sort out his affections or unravel the growing Montoni family mystery, his identity is revealed and his aunt comes to collect him. When she arrives, Count Montoni forces everyone to depart to the remote Udolpho castle, where there are no witnesses and no chance for escape. There, Emil realizes that he will have to risk his life to find the love he deserves and survive the Montoni family. Battery Life by Brennan Gilpatrick and Gregory Lang comes in at I don't know how many pages, and it is pitched as fiction, science fiction. Equal parts Z for Zachariah and Mad Max, Gilpatrick and Lang's darkly funny debut follows a girl from outer space and an aging scavenger who must learn to trust each other in order to survive. Welcome to the junkyard, a toxic wasteland where humans, machines, and everything in between fight for survival among the ruins of a long forgotten war. This is where Diane 317 finds herself after the Ark ship Cradle, the only home she's ever known, falls out of the sky, when a mysterious scavenger named Virgil stumbles upon Diane's escape pod. The two strike a deal, if it can be called that. Virgil's spare mechanical battlesuit, nicknamed the Grave Walker, can help Diane survive the ruined atmosphere, but it could kill her if it runs out of power, and Diane's untainted blood, a precious resource in this radioactive hellscape, could keep Virgil alive long enough to finish one last mission. But at what cost? The two will have to wait to work out their differences. However, as a new threat appears on the horizon, a masked man named the Messenger, who hopes to subdue the junkyard with a mysterious new power. With the help of a ragtag team of misfits, Diane and Virgil may just have a chance to stop him, if they don't kill each other first. The Girl Next Door by Cecilia Vinesse comes in at 368 pages and is pitched as young adult fiction, romance, LGBTQ+. Part To All the Boys I've Loved Before, part Everything Leads to You, this queer rom-com puts a smart spin on all the YA tropes we can't get enough of. Film club nerd Chloe Ferrara's senior year was like a storyboard waiting to be filmed. She knew the scenes, the players, and eventually happy ending. Attend film school with her boyfriend, Daniel Sheridan, become a filmmaking power couple, take Hollywood by storm, cut, print, fade to black. But in a plot twist Cleo never saw coming, Daniel dumps her for Kiki Pearson, the head cheerleader. This would be the point in the movie where the sad girl music plays. while the protagonist looks longingly out her window. But when Cleo looks out there, she sees Marion Lacerda, her former best friend, and a new storyboard unfolds. Mariana is also nursing a heartache. When Daniel was dumping Cleo for Kiki, Kiki was dumping Mariana for Daniel. So, instead of watching their exes parade around school, Cleo and Mariana start fake dating each other to ignite a little chaos in the bizarre love square. But any movie buff knows that when you introduce fake dating in Act 1, it's going to get real by Act 3. With friendship and future and love on the line, can Cleo script a happy ending for herself, or will she get her heart broken again? So, if you noticed, I started laughing because the whole two people get dumped at the same time, and then in order to kind of get revenge, the two dumpies start dating each other. I literally did that trope in Unleash My Love, but I twisted it because they don't wind up with each other. They wind up with different people than the one that they fake date. But it was a lot of fun. So anyway, so that sounds good. Girls Like Girls by Hayley Kiyoko comes in at 320 pages and is pitched as young adult fiction, romance, LGBTQ+. I actually did an unboxing short video of this a while back. I did receive it as part of a Goodreads giveaway, so I do plan to read it eventually. I don't know whether it will be this month or not, but I do own it now, so you might get a review at some point from me. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about what it is again, in case you did not see that unboxing video. Trailblazing pop star, actor, and director, Hayley Kiyoko debuts her first novel, a coming-of-age romance based on her breakthrough hit song and viral video, Girls Like Girls. It's summertime, and 17-year-old Coley has found herself alone again, forced to move to rural Oregon after just losing her mother. She is in no position to risk her already fragile heart, but when she meets Sonia, an attraction is immediate. Coley, Co- Coley worries she isn't worthy of love. Up until now, everyone she's loved has left her, and Sonia's never been with a girl before. What if she's too afraid to show up for Coley? What if by opening her heart, Coley's risking it all? They both realize that when things are pushed down and feelings are forced to shrivel away, Coley and Sonia will be the ones to shrink. It's not until they accept the love they fear and deserve most that suddenly the song makes sense. Based on the Billboard charting smash hit song and viral music video Girls Like Girls, Hayley Kiyoko's debut novel is about embracing your truth and realizing we are all worthy of being loved back. Her Good Side by Rebekah Weatherspoon comes in at 304 pages and is pitched as young adult fiction, romance, contemporary. A swoony, heart-melting YA romance from beloved author Rebekah Weatherspoon about two awkward teens who decide to practice dating in order to be good at the real thing. Perfect for fans of Nicola Yoon and Jenny Han. 16-year-old Bethany Green, though confident and self-assured, is what they call a late bloomer. She's never had a boyfriend, date, or first kiss. She's determined to change that, but after her crush turns her down cold for homecoming, declaring her too inexperienced, and all her backup ideas fall through, she continuously agrees to go with her best friend's boyfriend Jacob. A platonic date is better than no date, right? Until Sailor breaks up with said boyfriend, dumped twice in just 2 months, Jacob Yoon wonders if he's the problem. After years hiding behind his camera and a shocking summer glow-up, he wasn't quite ready for all the attention or to be someone's boyfriend. There are no guides for this particular circumstances or for taking your ex's best friend to the dance. Why not make the best of an awkward situation? Bethany and Jacob decide to fake date for practice, building their confidence in matters of the heart. And it works. Guys are finally noticing Bethany, but things get complicated as their kissing sessions for research, of course, start to feel real. This arrangement was supposed to help them in dating other people, but what if their perfect match is right in front of them? This also has a plus size um, love interest, so that's exciting. Ink Blood Sister Scribe by Emma Torzs comes in at 416 pages and is pitched as fiction magical realism. In this spellbinding debut novel, two estranged half sisters tasked with guarding their family's library of magical books must work together to unravel a deadly secret at the heart of their collection, a tale of familial loyalty and betrayal, and the pursuit of magic and power. For generations, the Calote family has guarded a collection of ancient and rare books, books that let a person walk through walls or manipulate the elements, books of magic that half-sister Joanna and Esther have been raised to revere and protect. All magic comes with a price, though, and for years the sisters have been separated. Esther has fled to a remote base in Antarctica to escape the fate that killed her own mother, and Joanna's isolated herself in their family home in Vermont, devoting her life to the study of these cherished volumes. But after their father dies suddenly while reading a book Joanna has never seen before, the sisters must reunite to preserve their family legacy. In the process, they'll uncover a world of magic far bigger and more dangerous than they ever imagined, and all the secrets their parents kept hidden. Secrets that span centuries, continents, and even other libraries. In the great tradition of Ninth House, the magicians, the practical magic. This is a suspenseful and richly atmospheric novel that draws readers into a vast world filled with mystery and magic, romance and intrigue, and marks the debut of an extraordinary new voice in speculative fiction. A Thousand Recipes for Revenge is the first book in the Chefs of the Five Gods series by Beth, Cato, and it is pitched as fiction, historical, and fantasy. And this is actually the release of the audiobook, so I do not have a page count for you. Cato has created a richly imagined world full of tasty surprises and thrilling adventure. I already hunger for more, says Kevin Hearn, New York Times bestselling author of the Iron Druid series. A world on the brink of war and a mother and daughter on the run, in a thrilling novel of swashbuckling adventure, culinary magic, and just desserts. Adamantine Ada Garland has an empathetic connection to food and wine, a magical perception of aromas, flavors, and ingredients, invaluable property of the royal court. Ada was in service to the five gods and to the gods' ordained rulers of Verdania until she had enough of injustice and bloodshed and deserted, seeking to chart her own destiny, when mysterious assassins ferret her out. After 16 years in hiding, Ada, now a rogue chef, and her beloved Grandmere run for their lives, only to find themselves on a path toward an unexpected ally. A foreign princess is in a strange court. Solon unknowingly shares more with Ada than a Epicurean gift. They share blood. With her newfound magical perception, she becomes aware of a plot to kill her fiancé, the prince. It's part of a ploy by adversarial forces in the rival country of Albion to sow conflict, and Solon is set up to take the blame. As Ada and Solon's paths converge, a mother and her long-lost daughter reunite toward a common goal and against a shadowy enemy from Ada's past who is out for revenge. But what sacrifices must be made? What hope is there when powerful gods pick sides in a war simmering to erupt? Threads That Bind by Kika Hatzopoulou comes in at 352 pages and is pitched as young adult fiction fantasy. Dripping with atmosphere and edged with danger, Threads That Bind weaves together a gorgeous dark tapestry of mystery, faded romance, and modern myth. You won't be able to put this one down, says Alexandra Bracken, New York Times bestselling author of lore. In a world where the children of the gods inherit their powers, a descendant of the Greek fates must solve a series of impossible murders to save her sister, her soulmate, and her city. For fans of Song of Achilles, descendants of the fates are always born in threes, one to weave, one to draw, and one to cut the threads that connect people to the things they love and to life itself. The Aura sisters are no exception. Lo, the youngest, uses her fate-born abilities as a private investigator in the half-sunken city of Atlante, but her latest job leads her to a horrific discovery. Somebody is abducting women, maiming their life threads, and setting the resulting wraiths loose in the city to kill. To find the culprit, she must work alongside Edie Runa, the right hand of the infamous mob queen, and the boy with whom she shares a rare faded thread, linking them as soulmates before they've even met. The investigation turns personal when Lo's estranged older sister shows up on the arm of her best suspect, amid unveiled secrets from her past and her growing feelings for Eddie. Lo must follow clues through the city's darkest corners and unearth a conspiracy that involves some of the city's most powerful players before destruction comes to her own doorstep. Time Out by Sean Hayes, Todd Milliner, and Carolyn Greenwald comes in at 272 pages and is pitched as young adult fiction coming of age. Heartstopper meets Friday Night Lights in this keenly felt coming-of-age story about a teen hometown hero who must find out who he is outside of basketball when his coming out as gay cost him his popularity and place on the team. In his small Georgia town, Barclay Elliott is basically a legend. Here, basketball is all that matters, and no one has a bigger spotlight than Barclay, until he decides to use the biggest pep rally in the town's history to come out to his school, and things change quickly. Barclay is faced with a hostility he never expected. Suddenly he is at odds with his own team, and he doesn't even have his grandfather to turn to the way he used to. But who is Barclay if he doesn't have basketball? His best friend, Amy, thinks she knows. She drags him to her voting rights group, believing Barclay can find a bigger purpose, and he does. But he also finds Christopher, aggravating, fearless, undeniably handsome Christopher. He and Barclay have never been each other's biggest fans, but as Barclay starts to explore part of himself he's been hiding away, they find they might have much more in common than they originally thought. As sparks turn into something more, though, Barclay has to decide if he's ready to confront the privilege and popularity that have shielded him his entire life. Can he take a real shot at the love he was fighting for in the first place? We Don't Swim Here by Vincent Tirado comes in at 320 pages and is pitched as young adult fiction horror. Anais knows the rules keep everyone in Hillwood safe. Her cousin is intent on breaking them, a new chilling-induced YA horror for fans of Tiffany D. Jackson and Lamar Giles. Bronwyn is only supposed to be in rural Hillwoods for a year. Her grandmother is in hospice, and her father needs to get her affairs in order, and they're all meant to make some final memories together. Except Bronwyn is miserable. Her grandmother is dying, everyone is standoffish, and she can't even go swimming. All she hears are warnings about going in the water, despite the gorgeous lake, and a pool at the abandoned rec center, and another in the high school basement. Anais tries her hardest to protect Bronwyn from the shadows of Hillwoods. She follows her own rituals to avoid any unnecessary attention, and if she can just get Bronwyn to stop asking questions, she can protect her too. The less Bronwyn pays attention to Hillwoods, the less Hillwoods will pay attention to Bronwyn. She doesn't get that the lore is, well, truth, history, pain. The living aren't the only ones who seek retribution when they're wronged, but when Bronwyn does more exploring than she should, they are both in for danger they couldn't expect. When the Vibe is Right by Sarah Das comes in at 336 pages and is pitched as young adult fiction, romance, contemporary. From the author of Where the Rhythm Takes You comes a delightful enemies to lovers contemporary romance set in Trinidad. There are two things Tess Crawford knows for sure. She's destined to be a great Trinidadian carnival costume designer, like her renowned uncle, Russell Miziana, and will one day inherit leadership of the family's masquerade band, Grandeur. Her classmate, the popular social media influencer Brandon Richards, is the bane of her existence. Everything about him irks her, from his annoying nickname for Tess, Boop, to his association with David, her awful ex. But when the future of Grandeur nears the brink of collapse in the face of band rivalry, Tess finds, to her chagrin, that she must team up with Brandon in a desperate attempt to revive the company. As Tess and Brandon spend more time together, Tess begins to wonder if everything she thought she knew might not be so certain after all. Set in lush, gorgeous Trinidad, this is a novel about finding love in the most unexpected places. The Wishing Game by Meg Shaffer comes in at 304 pages and is pitched as fiction women. Years ago, a reclusive mega best-selling children's author quit writing under mysterious circumstances. Suddenly, he resurfaces with a brand new book and a one-of-a-kind competition, offering a prize that will change the winner's life in this absorbing and whimsical novel. Meg Shaffer's beautiful novel is part Willy Wonka, part magical realism, and wholly moving, says Jodi Picoult. Make a wish. Lucy Hart knows better than anyone what it is like to grow up without parents who love her. In a childhood marked by neglect and loneliness, Lucy found her solace in books, namely the Clock Island series by Jack Masterson. Now a 26-year-old teacher's aide, she's able to share her love of reading with bright young students, especially 7-year-old Christopher Lamb, who was left orphaned after a tragic death of his parents. Lucy would give anything to adopt Christopher, but even the idea of becoming a family seems like an impossible dream without proper funds and stability. Just when Lucy is about to give up, Jack Masterson announces he's finally written a new book. Even better, he's holding a contest at his home on the real Clock Island, and Lucy is one of the 4 lucky contestants chosen to compete to win the one and only copy. For Lucy, the chance of winning the most sought-after book in the world means everything to her and Christopher, but first she must contend with ruthless book collectors, wily opponents, and the distractingly handsome and grumpy Hugo Reese, the illustrator of the Clock Island books. Meanwhile, Jack, the mastermind Masterson, is plotting the ultimate twist ending that could change all their lives forever. You Bet Your Heart by Danielle Parker comes in at 320 pages and is pitched as young adult fiction, romance, contemporary. A riveting, swoon-worthy teen romance centered on two high achievers fighting for the title of high school valedictorian and falling in love along the way, from debut author Danielle Parker. Sasha Johnson's son might not know everything, like how to fully heal after her dad's passing, or how many more Saturdays her mom can spend cleaning houses, but the one thing Sasha is certain of, she will graduate this year as Skyline High's class valedictorian. At least, she was sure before the principal called Sasha and her cute, effortlessly gifted ex-best friend Ezra Davis Goldberg into his office to deliver earth-shattering news. They're tied for valedictorian, and the scholarship attached. This outcome can't be left to chance, so Sasha and Ezra agree on a best-of-3 winner-take-all academic bet. As they go head-to-head, they are forced not only to re-examine why they drifted apart, but also to figure out who they've become since. With her future hanging in the balance, Sasha must choose: honor her family's sacrifices by winning at all cost, or give her heart a shot at finding happiness. All right, that's all the books I have for this week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with friends, and leave a comment down below to let me know which of these books you plan on checking out, or if there's a different book that was not featured that you're planning on reading this week. And I will see you all next time. Bye!